Hey guys, Skyson Freeman here. I know been a little while, been a few days. Some stuff's been going on and all kinds of stuff, but doing okay right now. So I figured I'd get in a video. This is something I wanted to talk about a few days ago, actually. Actually, first and foremost, I always keep forgetting this. Please leave a like and subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications as always, and leave your comments below what you think about this topic and all that kind of stuff. Share this video around if you liked it. And also check out the links in the description for, how to support me, how to find me, and also for my voiceover services if you need anything done as far as voiceovers go and think I'd be a good fit. I'd like to audition for you. But anyway, this is the, this going back to a lot of the stuff I was talking about where I talked about Toys R Us, Netflix, and GameStop, kind of these companies restructuring, rebranding, kind of trying to move themselves in different directions. Whereas those were kind of shaky, all this kind of stuff. We've got Pizza Hut, who now has decided to close down, I believe, nearly 500 of their dine-in locations, and this makes sense, unfortunately. But really, I just kind of wanted to talk about what it means, as a whole. I'm not exactly sure when it happened, but I remember a long time ago, probably late 90s or so, I used to live near a Pizza Hut, and, it was a dine-in location, all this kind of stuff. And I remember it was more, you could go there and dine in. I was sort of at the tail end of this kind of thing, but I remember eating there a couple times. I've eaten it, remember going to pizza places to eat a few times back a long time ago. It wasn't, we would mostly get carry out and delivery and all that, but every now and then we'd actually dine in somewhere like a pizza place specifically, and it wasn't like you go to a place like, say, Chuck E. Cheese, or a place that kind of has multiple things going on where pizza is served as well. You kind of just go there and eat pizza like it's a thing to do. Like you just go to a restaurant and get pizza. I'm not exactly sure why that trend started dying. Some people have theorized it's more healthy eating. Some say that the social aspect of pizza is just more like, okay, people are just going to get carry out or delivery and just eat it at their place. They're not really going to a restaurant to eat it. People are probably going to either, rent a movie or something, get pizza, go back home and do that kind of stuff, which makes sense. And I think also the decline of like arcades, like the pizza arcade kind of thing, which has been a long time coming, also has to play into this as well. I'm not sure. I know probably some, or maybe even most. It's been so long since I've been into a dine-in Pizza Hut, but I'm trying to think back in the 80s, and mostly like into the 80s and like early 90s. I'm sure some older people can probably do this, but I'm sure they had some kind of video game thing or arcade something you could do, maybe. Maybe like if it was just a Pong machine, not a Pong machine, but like it's like a Pac-Man machine or Galaga or something, like any kind of thing there. I would assume they probably had something like that at general Pizza Hut locations. The only things I really remember where you could put in like the little dispensers where you could get candy, or the sticker things where you put in the however much it was and you slide the thing in and you get the stuff out and all that kind of stuff. I remember those a lot there. But it's sad to see, but it's not really surprising. Now as far as it goes, this isn't a bad business move for Pizza Hut. Actually, quite the opposite. I believe they're actually doing pretty well. It's just that these dine-in locations aren't doing anything for them. There's no reason. They can have smaller locations that are more efficiently based on carry out and delivery, because no one dines in anymore. I mean, I'm just trying to think of any place where that happens. Maybe Cici's, maybe, but that's like a pizza buffet, and I believe they have more at Cici's than just like thing. Maybe I'm wrong. I haven't been in a Cici's in years. So I know I'm kind of talking about this half knowing what I'm exactly talking about, but I can still see that it's a sign of things definitely changing within it. And I know it's like, oh, within the world of pizza, man, it's changing, but it's kind of sad, to see that this old, it's interesting how as time goes on, there's a lot of things that just don't happen anymore. Um, like things that just do not happen anymore. Eating at pizza places is going to be one of those things, unless it's like, well, Chuck E. Cheese. But then again, that's a pizza arcade, and it's like a kid's pizza arcade. And I guess Chuck E. Cheese is doing okay, because, they're little kids. It's not like, the parents take them there. It's more of a social thing. There's birthday parties. I feel like Chuck E. Cheese is going to last a decently, quite a while as far as the whole pizza arcade thing goes. I think they just, because of their target audience and the way they've integrated and things like that, I think they'll probably be around for quite a bit, because every Chuck E. Cheese I know of is still around. But going back to what I mean about, things that are long gone, I remember getting a bunch of tapes from like the library or, or from Blockbuster or something. And the whole thing where it's like, rewinding a giant stack of tapes before you head out to the library or something. Like, that's just one of those events that is not going, it just isn't going to exist anymore. Because if libraries stop carrying tapes, that's just not a thing that happens, unless you go to some specialty store that rents out VHS tapes, which I don't see how there's a market for that, but anyway, and it just seems like, dine-in pizza places are going to be another one of those things. Or, gosh, I'm trying to think of other examples like that. I know I had a couple on board, but really the VHS tape thing is kind of one of those things where, you think back on it and you're like, man, that's just not, that time is just gone. It's it's not something that even you could really recreate, kind of, because of just the nature of how society is and just how things move. I guess there will always be pizza restaurants, or at least, there'll be restaurants that serve pizza, but actually going to a restaurant for pizza just seems like, those days are really over. And now it's just a thing about, how fast can you deliver, how, you carry out and all that kind of stuff. I was even at Marco's Pizza recently. I don't know how big a chain they are, but around where I'm at, there's quite a few. And they're technically dine-in, but I mean, no one's ever dining in there, and they sell pizza and they sell like subs. But, if you're going in there, you're probably, if you're sitting down, you're probably just waiting for your pizza to be ready to get taken out. So, I think it's just, this is one of the first, I was about to make a pun. I was say this is one of the first dominoes to fall. That would have been kind of funny. But this is just kind of one of the first things, one of the biggest, kind of really big steps towards the final nail in the coffin, so to speak. But yeah, it's interesting how the pizza industry has changed and how everyone's kind of gravitated towards a different way of doing things. And just kind of wanted to reminisce on that a little bit and just kind of get my thoughts out there about that, just because it is one of those things where it's like, wow, it's just not going to be a thing anymore. And I always think about stuff like that and just things that aren't and things that were. And I just kind of wanted to talk about that. Any of you guys down below, are you kind of younger, you don't really know, you never really went to a lot of dine-in pizza places? Maybe you still do, and it's just a thing that maybe, your family did or whatever, and it just never, it never stopped being a tradition. Maybe you're quite a bit older and you have some stories to tell about that. Maybe you know kind of when that shift happened, at least for yourself. And tell me about, the pizza places you went to, what they had as far as, maybe like the entertainment side or the social side, and, going there with your friends or family or something like that, and kind of how that went. I'd really like to hear all those stories. So, yeah, that's really all I have to say about that. Kind of sad, but not surprising. But at least Pizza Hut's not going under. They're doing pretty well, and it's smart. It's just sign of the times. So anyway, that's all I got to really say about that, guys. Later.